Welcome to the Taking Care of Tutu podcast, Kathleen. We're so happy to have you here today. So today we're introducing Kathleen Couch. So she is a caregiver / program coordinator for Maui Adult Daycare. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So would you start off by telling us about Maui Adult Daycare and the services that you offer?
Definitely. We are in place, of course, adult daycare is anybody 18 and over, but typically someone at a younger age coming to us may be with us until they find a more appropriate setting for their age. So most of our clients range from, I would say, 40s on up to over 100. Our oldest client was 107. And it's because we're all living so much longer,
Yeah.
but our brains are wearing down, our bodies are wearing down. And Maui Adult Daycare Center, we feel no one as they're aging, no matter their age, should be isolated at home waiting till the time they pass. They
Yeah.
should have the ability to live and enjoy life at whatever level they function. And so we had 4 centers. We still have our Kihei Center. We have our Kahului Center, our Wailuku Center, and our Lahaina Center burnt down. And so we do have a drop-in site in Hana, though.
Oh,
So our Wailuku Center is set up to meet the needs of those that are moderate high functioning.
well,
And this means that they may be starting early stage dementia, they may be changing somewhat physically, but they're still pretty independent. They feed themselves, toilet themselves, they can socialize, we can show them how to do an activity and get started and back away and give them their independence. And we have activities scheduled all throughout the day, but this helps them to have friendship and activity and stimulation again. Our
yeah.
Kyle Louise Center is set up for those that are moderate, low functioning,
Got it.
meaning that they're a bit more progressed in their dementia. They may be able to feed themselves, but they may be incontinent, needing assistance in the bathroom, need the ability for us to keep them clean and comfortable. They need a safe setting because many of them are prone to falls, even at the high level. But they need to enjoy and be stimulated and live life at the level they function. The difference is we would provide an activity and we would stay in place to do it with them.
What's the most common piece of advice that you would hand out to someone in one of your one-on-one counseling calls?
Um, to really remember that we live with ourselves at the end of the day, the
Mm,
choice that we made, how we provided care. But I also want them to know, again, I always tell them, you're human and we're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes because this will probably be the hardest job you've ever done. Nobody prepped us to
yeah.
know that we become our parents' parent or our loved one's parent, and the roles have flipped. So I try to help them understand that ambiguous loss where you see this person in front of you and you that you've known and loved, but they no longer remember you. We still, though, have to remember and think about the person that was,
Yeah.
which lets us know that this person now is not making these choices on purpose. They
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing, and they're doing the best that they can. Their agitation, things they might say and do wrong that families say they were never like this. Well, it's the way that it's their part of their communication. It's the way they're expressing how they're feeling inside because they can't put that into words. So I really want caregivers to know it's important that we're modeling the good and the bad to our youth or our adult children. It's important to know that we live with ourselves at the end of the day, not to be hard on ourselves. Think about things. What could we have done? Then let it all go and hold on to nothing but the good so that
Mhm.
that's what you carry over and it's adding up. And really big is we never had the chance to plan or prep this with our loved one.
Yeah.
Nobody taught us this was coming, and so we didn't know enough to talk about it and what would your wishes be. And I believe that if they knew what a toll it was taking on their loved one's life, the caregiver, they would probably say, "Care for me as long as you can, and then when you have to change that and place me, do what you need to do. And I tell caregivers the reason for that is you want the good care that you have provided to continue,
Yeah.
but now probably by a professional because you realize your boundaries. You know you've gone as far as you can. So now reach out for that good care and get them placed and take care of yourself so you can stay strong enough to pay them those visits. They get the best of you again, and you
Mhm.
can oversee and advocate that care. So I
Is
said,
that
it's
why most people are calling for to seek out one-on-one support because they're exhausted, they're frustrated?
they almost need to hear somebody say it's okay to take that next step.
Yeah.
I always tell them, I believe when they pass over, they look down and go, "Oh my God, did I do all that crazy stuff?" And I believe that they just go, "Thank you for loving me and taking such good care of me." So I let caregivers know now is the time to start to teach and prep your own children. So when it's them and you someday, they're not dealing with the guilt and the emotions that we feel around all of this, but
Mhm.
you're giving them permission now. Go as far as you can. And when you caregive me, if that ends up to be your role someday, and when you can no longer do it, I'm letting you know now it's okay to make those choices you need to set me up in a professional setting.
Mhm.
And if I fight you tooth and nail over it, don't look at that or listen to that. Remember this conversation now.
How has the Maui adult daycare changed over the years that you worked there?
Only in that when I started, we had our Kahalui Center and the Lahaina Center. So in growth, I think the change has
Oh
been
yeah.
in growth. And we have the Ocean View Center, which is at the Nisei Veteran site. So we opened that one. And then we opened the Kihei Center. So I would think that would be the change. And also that back when I started, we had to do a lot of marketing to really get the word out there that we were in place and what we could do to help families and their loved
Oh
ones.
yeah.
Now, people seem to be coming out of the walls.
Yeah.
So we're getting a ton of intakes and such, and there seems to be more of a need. I'm not going to say so much an awareness; it's more of a need now, and people are actually going and looking because as I do intakes and I ask how they learned about us, a lot of what they say is word of mouth,
Mhm.
or that they looked on the web and found us on the web.
Yeah.
So people are starting to seek it out because there are more and more and more caregivers coming about as we are living longer.
How do you set up your it sounds like some of the team is doing some social, some are doing showers. How does the team work together?
They kinda know their schedules. We have certain ones that do showers, the others are, helping the activity person, and then there are also staff doing the toileting. So we're staffed 1 to 5 clients, and we keep the ratio at that, and we are fortunate, like I said, we don't have a big we've never had a big turnover of staff. They seem to love what they do, and then we do a lot to honor and give back to our staff, but, there's a good flow in that we also have the perfect part-time position that we utilize on calls. And like most jobs, you would have a set schedule that you have to keep to. Our on-call position is our director simply calling and saying, after we've signed you up and everything, our director calling and saying, "Hey, we have a staff member who's going to be out for 2 days. Could you cover this shift at this center?" They
Mhm.
can say yes or no. It doesn't hurt their standing with us. We work with their schedule too. Makes it very easy to have those on calls that you need to fill in all those spaces so
Yep.
that we're not short.